So Sergio's just undertaking the beast, installing whatnot. The RAM's specially installed with your lovely little custom acrylic lights with the Corsair kit. You got the custom cables that have came from, was it Greece or Portugal or?
No, UK.
The UK. Oh, is it UK? Pete. A guy called Pete. And yeah, they marry well with the custom guards that we've had made by a nice company that we tracked down. And
that company's Janus.
Oh, Janus, yeah, Janus. They are very, very good quality. M2 drive, lovely coloured sort of logo thing, custom made as well. It's all got a suit. And Sergio's just sussing out the state of play is with this sound card. It's beginning to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, just because where the Molex is connected is a bit of a pain in the arse. Big pain in the arse.
But other than that, it's all coming together. And to be honest, I think it actually looks fairly smart.
Well, it will do when it's frigging finally finished.
Yeah, but everything has to be properly done. It has to be.
We've been dragging, waiting for bloody parts and God knows what.
Yeah, it doesn't help that parts are delayed and stuff. But it's got to be right. But yeah, even custom wrapped the radiators. All heat wrapped, so they look fairly smart to make it pop.
That's not gonna work.
Even done this one as well, down the front, all the way down. It was a nice easy mod. Well, I say easy, I didn't do it, so. But no, everything's looking fairly good. And Sergio's in thinking mode right now.
Yeah, very frustrating that I can't get the cables the way that I want them to, which is a bit of a bugger really. So I don't really want nothing feeding from the bottom, but it looks like I'm not going to have no choice on the power cable coming from the bottom, because I don't have enough room here to put the graphics card, which is going to go on slot 3. There's just no way that's going to fit, because that quite thick.
The amazing Titans with their EK blocks somehow have to, with some jiggery pokery, go on. But we fitted the lovely bridge connector. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. It says a terminal triple serial, but we've blanked off one of the other sides, so it actually doesn't see one of the cards. It thinks there's one there, but it isn't. And then it continues just because of the sheer distance that it has to travel. It's not practical to fit a smaller dual one on. Just wouldn't fit. But yeah, that's the state of play, and that's just the. This is the PSU cover that's obviously going to sit over this one. But we're going straight with the 1500 watts, which is I think what was in originally. So that's just the state of play with regards to that, and that's from the lovely fans in the back that will sit on the back of the case with the Epic logo on it. So at the moment it's all good.
No, not really.
No?
It's just can't exactly do what I wanted to do, but time limitations. See, a lot of people put systems together but don't pay a lot of attention to the cabling and the routing of where everything's going to go, so you end up with a clean system. And even though that they got great components, the actual PC looks crap. And what makes this a bit more challenging is because this X99 Rampage Extreme motherboard, the PSI 16 lanes, most boards is 1 and 2 and everything else is 8 and 4. Well, this board, because it supports so many bloody features, they decided to put 16 lanes on slot 1 and 16 lanes on slot 2. Sorry, slot 3. So hence why, like my original terminal bridge, which was a two-way, was useless. So I had to scrap that idea, and so at least I can put the sound at the top.
I think it's better at the top.
And then power at the bottom somehow.
Yeah.
So for the time being, that's what I will do. But yeah. So if anybody's building their PC, take extra time on your cabling, because it will make your life easier later on, because you don't want to start messing around with cabling once you've filled up your loop.
No, that's not clever. It would be a big pain in the arse.
A little bit. So hopefully, stay there.
Yeah, that's just the bridge that Sojo's messing with. It's actually very nice.
Yeah, right, I'm going to try and fit. Right, first of all, blank that off.
Come round here.
Yeah, excuse the mess because I've got other projects on the go.
It's a shed. It's fine. It's actually a better angle, I think, of this here. You can see all the sexy fan guards, which is always a bonus.
Yeah.
There's the two tight Nexes going in. They weigh an absolute ton.
Pure copper, so.
It's been a challenging little project, this, hasn't it?
I think it's challenging is an understatement, because I could make this very easy for myself and build a system and done and dusted. And
I think it's about refining it to
it's bringing to
a standard. Yeah. Because if it's going to be done, it has to be done correctly. There's no point in half-arsing something, especially something like this.
Maybe I laugh. I just noticed.
Go on.
That well, that's annoying, isn't it?
What's now?
We did have the graphics cards before in with the sound card as well, didn't we?
Yes. What we sussed.
Well,
it's almost like none of this was in the board, but it was.
I got to put the graphics cards in because the plate that I custom made is blocking the bottom lip of the second Titan.
Are you joking?
No.
Oh, what a pain in the arse.
So, as long as the wire spins where it should, that should slide in there, and then I should,
hopefully,
be able to put that.
It's a bit of jiggery pokery. looks like it's in. No?
Because normally that was should like click in. It's not. No, it's not.
Not having it.
So something is not quite aligned. Now it's.
Oh, there we go. Magic click.
Yeah. Always make sure your graphics cards are aligned properly. By having a bridge, it does make the job a little bit easier than individual. The original plan was to have a parallel tubing. Now with that, you have to make sure you cut your tubing perfectly, because afterwards, when you try to put the cards in, it's a pain in the ass to get them to align perfectly, because there's flex on the actual tubing itself. But by having a bridge, I should. Well, I mean, I left some slack, so I should be able to just pull it through and connect that. There you go. Now with this wire here, I've got a bit of play with, so I should be able to feed it and put it on a specific
terminal connected in the bridge. Which just looks amazing. That lights up in the centre. It gives a nice little glow. It's all about the lights. It's all about the lights.
Apparently.
Sergio is a great believer in more performance before the lights, whereas I just like everything to have lights on it, which makes it look cool. And I think.
I mean, I always have this saying: is if you've got to have something that fits a purpose, and if the purpose, for me, is performance. If it doesn't add performance, why is it in there?
Make it look cool.
That is the best I can do, angled.
Okay, I actually think that looks good.
Yeah, it would be a shame.
I would give that the thumbs up.
Because I would have loved to put the power cable through there, but the actual gap, I mean, when you look at it like this, it should fit, but you got capacitors under there, and the only gap I've got is where I just routed this cable, which I need to, you see, there's a bit of a gap that just fits perfectly. You see, and
plenty of room between those.
Goes around. Absolutely tons of cables to sort out. It's just ridiculous. This thing has got some, at the moment will be 6, 9, 10 fans, and they will be controlled by software with a phobia splitter. So one splitter is going to control 6 at the top on a push-pull. The other splitter is going to control the front on a push, and then the rear. I was going to add it to the splitter, but I might put it directly on the board itself, because it's an exhaust fan. But I haven't decided yet, and I just noticed that there's the actual headers for the fan right to the bottom down there. So that means I will have to take the RAM out. But oh, c'est la vie.
Dominated RAM does look pretty good there.
I mean, the RAM is spot on. I mean, you can't really get RAM with the timings as good as that. It's 2800 kit, but you can overclock, so there's not much point getting kits that are higher, because you can just get a decent, if it's a good quality RAM, you can overclock it. I mean, I've got a HyperX 32 gigs on my personal rig, and they rated, I think, is a 1600. I got them overclocked to 2400. Just increase the voltage and you're fine. So why spend the extra money when you don't have to?
This is very true.
Right, so I think it's time to stand this bad boy up.
And we're back in the room. This is Mr. Sergio, and he's going to insert the power supply that will power the beast, which is this.
Mr. Sergio. Just Sergio is fine.
Oh, it's better than the Don, isn't it?
Say again, sorry.
The Don.
Yeah, I've been called many things.
Do you still have that t-shirt?
The Godfather?
Yeah.
Don Sergio. Portuguese Mafia Godfather. Yeah.
This goes to the territory, doesn't it, really?
Really? Thanks.
No. We've,
So, the original plan was to have a small PCU cover plate just to cover the cables that's going to come up here. But after doing one, which I have, and because at that point I haven't decided what route of cabling, and because this I want to do it a stealth build, so I want minimum cabling visual, I decided to do a full-on plate, so which I have. I'm not going to put it on.
no.
I got to put it on before I put the tubing because the tube is going to stick out, and because it's quite high, that I can just about hopefully
See it from that side, so we go over here. There we go.
and it's been measured to go under. Just like
How
so.
smart does that look? That looks really cool.
So all this is, I mean, for anybody that wants to make their own, because the people charge a fortune. I think is it the NZXT cases that they come with their own.
NXT 440s, I think.
Yeah. So if you want to make your own power supply cover plate or any shape or form,
Yeah, we'll go this side because the light isn't fantastic.
the best way to make your power supply cover plate is don't get standard acrylic, you get petg acrylic, which is, I think I've got some here.
Get the sample.
Right.
There we go.
So you can pick these up. No, they don't have the scratches, okay, it doesn't matter. It's got film. And what's the difference between this? This acrylic, you can get in any colours. We got a white one because Richard wants me to do a plate like I've done on mine. Yeah, thanks Richard. More bloody work for me. But
if I get you to do it, it'll be done right. If I do it, I'll cock it up and it'll suck shit.
So the difference between this acrylic,
Okay.
PETG, and normal acrylic, you can heat normal acrylic and you'll be able to bend. But it's more fragile. That means if your temperature is too hot or too cold, you're going to end up with some fractures, and it's not great to work with myself. I've worked with it before. Now this stuff is more flexible, right? As long as you take your time heating it up, and you'll be able to get a good perfect bend. Also, it doesn't shatter, and that's the difference between acrylic tubing and normal tubing. So this is some piping that we've done. Throwing everything away. This is PETG acrylic tubing. It's a lot easier to work with, and I've got a piece of plastic and be able to demonstrate.
Yeah, I was just going to say maybe you can like smack it with a hammer and.
Right, this is normal acrylic. Okay, and it just snaps. Okay. This, I guess a whole piece. This is PETG acrylic. Right, so it's got more flex. You see that? So normal acrylic would snap straight away. So for making any shapes, like if you wanted a nice curve like that, this stuff is absolutely brilliant. It's cheap as well. It's dearer than normal acrylic, but trust me, it's worth the expense.
It's worth the extra money just because of the workability
will
of
probably
it.
set you back about £7, and with that, that's an A3 cut down, be able to do it. So for £7, as long as you've got a decent heat gun, and then you could either leave it at the standard colour, which is, you can be able to peel that off. This is standard black, which is, you see that?
Yeah, nice and lovely job.
Or like I did, I just got some premium car carbon fibre wrap,
which conveniently is actually at the back, if I remember rightly, because I've seen the red stuff that looks epic.
So you can get these.
This is the awesome stuff.
Right, don't get the cheap stuff. Okay, so I've got it in black. So this is 3D carbon paper. Okay, 3D carbon paper. Normally this stuff is designed, specifically this, designed to wrap car parts, so it's weatherproof. Okay, so it's a little bit thicker. You need to apply a little bit more heat.
Yeah.
If you get the cheap stuff, it's really thin and flimsy, and you probably burn it. So yeah, you can get different colours, so white, red.
I'm absolutely loving the red.
Also got some, this is like brushed steel. So if you want to do like little panels or something like that, like a hard drive cage or something, this is great. So it's a way, because unfortunately I don't have like amazing tools to work with metal, but acrylic is very easy to work with a hacksaw. Which is fair enough. And you can get a roll, these are small ones, so I tend to use, you can get, you know, one of these for just over £12.
This is a wrap a person.
Actually, I'll tell you the price. This is,
it's just like really cool.
1.5 meters by, let's see, it's got the price, it was £12.32, 1 meter by 1.5, and that was
absolute
like
bargain.
£12. And it's good quality. Don't get me wrong, you probably get the same amount cheaper stuff, okay, but I guarantee you, once you start working with it, bubbles will start showing up, and then you add heat to get rid of the bubbles. If you get the good quality stuff that's normally used for car styling, I got this from the car styling online on eBay. Brilliant. Yeah. From a company called Style Limited. There you go.
There we go. Lovely job.
Their website name in eBay is called carstyle.com. And there you go. So that's what I used. And just because it's in shot and just because it looks cool, we've got to talk about the epic case. Right, okay, so the other two builds that after this is done and gone, it's a Thermaltake P5 open case, and this is going to be housing a... How cool is that? AMD build consisting of the Crosshair Formula board. Graphics cards I'm not too sure, but everything's going to be water cooled. So that's another build. The reservoir I already have for it, I'm using quite a substantial size. This is going to be so awesome. It's actually down there at the moment. Oh my god, that's huge. Yeah, that is actually pure glass. This is oh, is this a full on? Yeah, it needs to be cleaned. Oh, it's like a fish tank. Yeah, but that one's a little bit different because you've got a lighting module in the middle, so whatever coolant you put in lights up. At the I mean, this is like it's solid. Quite a hefty. That's a proper like. You would drop that and you would cry. Yeah, kind of thing. Toughened glass, hardened glass. Yeah. Then my personal build, which is I'm going to do over a period of time, is going to be based on that case. Ba-boom! And this 900D. This is going to house two 480mm radiators, 480 at the top, 480 at the side, with a 240 on the other side and a 360 up at the front. This is going to be heavily modified because... Excuse the car, it's our neighbour. Yeah. No, it's my missus picking up my boy. Oh, it's the missus. She's off. Yeah. Oh. So this is a personal project that I am going to do. In regards to the gear that's going to go in it, I could either transplant my existing gear, which is Asus Maximus Formula Z97 motherboard with two 980 Ti's and 4790K with 32 gigs of RAM. That board itself already has water blocks to it. That was the plan, but There's always change.
The plan.
I'm actually going to possibly downscale.
Really?
Going to go backwards. And the reason I'm going to go backwards,
boom!
And the chip on it is a 3960X6 core. So this is able to do for 4-way slide if needed be, but there's no need. Well, it tells you there. So you got PSI 1.
Didn't you say this was X78? Right.
X99.
X79.
Yeah. So you got PSI Express 16 there, and there, PSI 8, and PSI 8 I believe down at the bottom, and then we got that one as well. So yeah.
Well, it says BIOS LED there, so everything's good. It's all about the LEDs.
So yeah, quite a few projects to do. All of them going to be water-cooled. This will be the biggest challenge because this needs a lot of customization in regards to the arrangement of the bottom bay, where the radiator maybe custom power coated the case, I don't know yet, but this will be my personal rig which I will keep for years to come. I'm slowly gathering parts for it. Tubing wise, it depends. If I go water cooling, we'll do hard tubing. If it's air cooled, might just do the CPU and motherboard on a loop and then the graphics cards on air. I'm not too sure yet, but yeah. So there you go. You got a little insight
into the madness of PcShed.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll just end on the logo, and jobs are good.
Lovely. Hi there guys, thanks very much for watching the video, it really means a lot to me. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave us a like or even subscribe to our channel for future videos. And if you didn't like it, please give us some feedback. We are a non-profit channel, so this is a hobby and we're trying to share information with people of like-minded people like yourselves. But we always appreciate any feedback, so until next time, take care. Thank you.